Well, I'm putting a hydraulic hose on my grapple. This is an Armstrong Ag Equipment grapple, and it's only a year old. I would not have thought a hose would have failed, but seems like right there's a rub spot, and I believe that's where it was leaking. It was just a drip. When it was under load, it was a little bit more than a drip, but about a drip every 5 seconds, and I just don't want any leaks, so I'm replacing it. And you know, at that kind of pressures, it wouldn't have taken long for that to become a huge tear and a huge leak. So I got to looking at it, and it's not it's easier than I thought. I didn't think it was going to be I thought it was going to be kind of difficult to do, simply because the hoses run down in this channel to the middle of the equipment. Anyway, that's where I have to hook it up. I have to go from here through that channel and out and up to here, like this one is. Okay. Now that is where it goes into the channel is not sharp. It's rounded. They've made sure they rounded it off real nice, but it's still just a point that, you know, even though it's rounded, if every time you push that thing it does that, you know, just kind of moves just a little bit, it's just going to be a place where there's going to be a rub, and it's going to, sooner or later, the hose is going to fail. So what I have done prior to and in doing this, I went on Amazon and bought some hose wrap, and that's what this is. Basically, it's just a spiral that you wrap around your hoses. And I went ahead and wrapped all the hoses. I wrapped these up to this sleeve, and I'll bring that back down, the sleeve back down. But what I've done is wrap that around here, and that's the way you do it. You just flip it on, and one end on, and start twisting it. And I did enough of it to get it back down in that channel. So both of these hoses should be protected from any rub in that channel, that round place right now. That round end protects the hose from going through this square channel, if that makes any sense at all. So these hoses should be protected. There's another wear spot as the hose comes in contact with this. In other words, anytime you activate the front end loader, anytime you activate, excuse me, the grapple, there's just a slight movement in that hose, just like when you turn on the water hose. You can feel a little movement when you turn it on and off. It's the pressure, excuse me, the pressure. And so this is another point that would be a place for it to wear, is right there. Every time that hose moves just a little bit, or every time this pin moves a little bit, it would be a place that could wear that hose. So we're going to we're trying to alleviate that with this pipe wrap, this hose wrap, hydraulic hose wrap. And I'll put a link to that below the video, because I think if you've got a tractor, you may want to protect your hoses. So what I'm doing, going from here through here to here, tighten it up. I thought I had every tool known to man, but I didn't have a 1-inch wrench. This one here is 1 inch. The other end, that is 3/4, but I have to have a 1 inch for that right there. So here's the new hose. Just start it. This is the end I just cut off. It's a little cold this morning, so it's a little stiffer than it was the other day. We just basically put it on there and twist, and it wraps on the hose. Now on this particular hose, since I've got the hose off, I'm gonna do this hose all the way through that channel. On these hoses, the existing hoses that are on it right now, I didn't take the hoses loose. I just got them. I've got them into the channel a little bit, but not entirely. You can wrap it around like this, scoot it up, wrap around like that, or you can just twist it and it'll go on. So I've got my hose all wrapped up. What I'm going to do is run it in the channel first, hook it up there first, and then bring it out and hook it up here. And that is another place, a rub place for this hose, is rubbing on this fitting here. Anyway, go slide it up in there, tighten it up, bring it out, tighten it up there, we're done. So, tightened both of them up, tighten that way, tighten here, made sure my hose wrap is protecting everything. They're rubbing right there, but that should not be an issue now with this plastic wrap, and that's pretty thick stuff. It's heavy duty stuff. I don't see that wearing out for years and years, this wrap. Anyway, if this did come back and rub against that fitting, again, it's got the wrap on it. I'm gonna highly recommend that wrap. If you've got a tractor and you've got some hoses, especially front end loader that does a lot of moving and you have a lot of movement in these hoses, you might want to do this. I'm going to go back on my tractor, especially underneath. I've got 3 hoses that go underneath my tractor that I replaced last year. Hard to replace. Cost me about $200 or $300, and I mean, just the hoses, and then I have to pull the back tire and to get to them. I mean, it's a mess. So I'm going to go back, if I can do it from just getting under the tractor, and I'm going to put this wrap around those hoses, because underneath the tractor, anything I run over, not stakes, but stumps and not stumps, brush and stuff, is going to wear on those hoses. Can push against it, you know, and kick it and beat it. And so I'm going to try to protect it with some of this stuff. So anyway, I think it'd be a good deal for you also to look at. And we're done now. We'll put the grapple back on. This is a 66-inch grapple, I think it is, from Armstrong Ag in Brenham, Texas, and it is a monster. Yeah, when you latch it on, you know you got something on there. It's pretty doggone heavy, so you better have a pretty good tractor to tote it around. Anyway, keep it greased. I just greased it again yesterday. Grease here, grease here. No grease hurt here because this doesn't move just a little bit, but I went ahead and tried to work some grease down in there the best I could, and that's about it. That's about it. Fixed it. Put it back on the tractor.